I think that at the time, people were looking for something like that. They were looking for a popular horse.
About the time, it was in the late summer, Charlie was saying he thought the horse had ability. And I saw Seth and I said, got a colt in California that Charlie thinks might be a good horse. And Seth said, well, that's too bad. And I said, well, what do you mean? He said, Mr. Phipps has the best horse he's ever had. I said, well, I'm screwed, that's the way it goes.
And I just remember, saying to somebody and thinking that I wish somebody else was training him besides Mr. Whittingham, because, he was an old master and, I was kind of a young guy that was trying to figure this whole thing out.
I think I held my breath for 2 minutes probably. I wasn't expecting really that we'd beat Easy Goer based on, my brother's a good horseman, what he'd said and what everybody was saying, that Easy Goer was the second coming of man of war.
Coming to the finish of the Derby, Sunday Silence wins this Derby by 2 lengths.
I watched it on film here again the other day, and I hadn't remembered they'd hooked up when they hooked up as early as they did, at the quarter pole or coming to it.
I'll tell you exactly. I had my binoculars, and I saw Easy Goer sweep around us there on the turn at the Preakness, and when he did, I just dropped him. Had a strap on, dropped him down. I said to my wife, Stacy, Easy Goer just swept around and shut us off. We're done, that's it. And I sort of stood there for a minute looking down at the ground, because I thought we were cooked. And Stacy jumping up and down, he's coming back, he's coming back. I put my glasses back up and I'll be damned. He was right there back at him.
Sunday Silence, Easy Goer, here's the finish. Sunday Silence wins it by a nose.
We were a little bit in front for a little ways, and then we got beat, even though it was a short nose, but I knew we'd gotten beat. And I wanted to win the Belmont not only for the horse, but for Mr. Phipps, and the whole thing was a big thrill. Walking up there that day, this is what it's all about, the crowd and what was going on, and obviously it was a very partial crowd to him because he was the East Coast horse. Not that Sunday Silence didn't have, a nice following, but these people, they felt like that he was New York's horse.
I thought with the rain, and I knew it would be wet the next day, but they closed that track for Easy Goer to try to dry it out, and they got it dried out.
I can't ever remember thinking that, we're trying to interrupt the Triple Crown. It was never passed through my mind, and I was just wanting to win the race, and I think that was what, the fan base wanted, and it couldn't have happened, with a nicer horse on a better day, and for Mr. Phipps being a homebred and, out of one of his better mares, and, I think that it was a very special day for him. I'm not sure that winning at Belmont didn't mean more to him than maybe winning other places, but the whole thing was very, very interesting.
Down the stretch, and it's Easy Goer with Pat Day winning the Belmont and denying Sunday Silence the Triple Crown.
I was about as devastated as I've ever been over, something other than the death of a loved one or something like that. But I was just totally devastated. I thought we had a chance to win the Triple Crown. The farm owed a lot of money. There was a big bonus if you did win the Triple Crown, which would have helped so much, and I was just devastated.
He loved his horses, he loved racing, he loved coming out here and sitting in the chair and watching them, and when he was able, he'd walk down through there and give them peppermint or something. So I'm sure that when he won the Belmont that day, that was probably as exciting a day as he had.